Per 20 minuti dobbiamo abbandonare l'Europa,
For 20 minutes, we have to leave Europe
andare nel Sud America.
and go in South America.
Andiamo in una nazione che ha storia,
We are going to a country that has a really ancient story.
Ma non ci andiamo per vedere le bellezze naturali o la sua
But
storia.
we're not going there to see natural beauties or the history.
Andiamo per incontrare una persona che noi apprezziamo molto.
We are going there to see a person we appreciate so much.
Si chiama Javier Ortiz Cabrejos
The name is Javier Ortiz Cabrejos,
ed è del Perù.
and he comes from Peru.
So, I want to pray, Amra, to read some curriculum about Javier, so we can know him a little more. Please, Amra.
Yes, Swamiji, it's my pleasure to introduce Javier Ortiz Cabrejos from Peru. Javier started practicing Yogasanas at a very early stage. Today, he is a teacher of Transcendental meditation and president of the Maharishi Institute of Vedic Science and Technology of Peru. He holds a postgraduate degree in Vedic architecture from the Maharishi European Research University in the Netherlands and India, and has a postgraduate degree in architecture and sustainable urbanism from the University of Salamanca, Spain. As a speaker on human development issues, he has lectured at universities and institutions in more than 30 countries. He has developed educational project introducing meditation and yoga in universities and schools in Brazil, Colombia, and Peru. He led a project started in 1998, teaching Transcendental meditation, TM-Sidhi and Yogasanas in more than 85 schools in Peru, where these techniques have been taught to more than 65,000 students. Javier is also a poet and has always been related to the experience of the self-science his young age. In 1998, he received the World Medal of Merit from the Maharishi University of Management in the Netherlands from Maharishi Mahesh Yogi himself for his work, creating meditation coherence groups in Peruvian schools. In that same year, the Ricardo Palma University of Peru awarded him the 30th anniversary medal for being an outstanding alumnus and a reference person for the university community. As a researcher, he has inspired and authored papers published at the Journal of Indian Philosophy, Journal of Latinos and Education, Journal Education from Catholic University from Peru, and others. The title of his lecture today is Recent Research on Meditation and Yoga in Schools in Peru. Thank you, Javier. Please
Thank
continue.
you, Amra. Javier, please.
Thank you, Swamiji. I am very happy to be again in this wonderful symposium, BeYogaBeyond, organized by the European Yoga Federation and under your leadership. So we are presenting this at the name of our institution, Maharishi Institute of Science and Technology of Peru. And this project was inspired by our master, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who asked us almost 30 years ago to go with this teaching to the schools and to the children to improve their school performance and also to try to improve the future of the nation. So we call the programa MT de Salud Mental Preventivo, no? It's a mental health preventive program that is based in the program of a consciousness-based education. So we have an organized institution that with which we sign agreements with different institutions as government institutions, universities, and schools. We share in this project different techniques as neuro-respiratory techniques, pranayamas, neurophysiological techniques as yogasanas, techniques of corporal self-consciousness as nadi vigyan, and the transcendental meditation technique, and also their advanced techniques called the TM-Sidhi Programme. Transcendental meditation have been widely researched all over the years, and some of the benefits for the students are the increase of intelligence, the memory, greater creativity, more speed to solve different kind of problems, especially mathematical problems, development of personality, deep rest, development of the senses, better athletic activity, improvement of the scores in the test when they are testing the students, to decrease sickness, decrease nervousism, to increase the coordination between mind and body, and the improve of society. In the schools in our areas, we have found that we have less lack of absenteeism in the schools by the students that practice transcendental meditation. Just less than 3% in compared with 21% that is the normal rate for this. Also, we got more than 87% of students that are finishing their studies in comparison with the almost 87% of the control group. Also, 41% of the students that are meditating show a better mathematical conditions, to solve mathematical problems in comparison with 15% of non-meditators. 37% of the meditators also shows a better comprehension of reading and language in comparison with 17% of non-meditators. And 50% have less problems of lack of attention. For this, we say to the schools that they should practice 2 times a day, every day, for 10 minutes each time. That is our proposal to the schools with which we work. Transcendental meditation activates the prefrontal cortex. As a result, the students have a better and more efficient work of the brain, a thought that with better proposal, have a better decisions, and a vision of a long time for all his life. In Peru, we have till now reached to 4 universities, 90 schools, around 70,000 students learn transcendental meditation, yogasanas, and pranayamas. Out of them, 12,000 learn the advanced techniques called the TM-Sidhi Programme. And we have several agreements with different institutions, educational institutions in the country. So we have reached with this project to 22 cities, 9 regions. As we can see in this map of the country, the different regions in which we were working or we are working with this project. Between year 1986 and 2022, we reach around 60,000 students. By this moment, we are in around 70,000 students, no? And during this time, we reach 78 schools. Now we are in around 90 schools. And we are seeing in this chart for each year how many students we were teaching in different schools, no? In year 2009, we reached a peak of 7,300 students, and in the next year 5,200, and in year 2016 5,300. No, since 2-3 years ago we are teaching around between 5,000 to 6,000 students, new students every year. And in this chart we have for each city the number of students that have learned in different schools. So now we will see some pictures of some students meditating. This school was the first school in which we started. Is called Prescott School in Puno. A very small school, just had 50 students 20 years ago when we started. Now it's having around 300 students. And here are some of the students with their teachers in their meditation and yoga hall. This is another school in the same city in Puno. This school is La Merced School. This is one of the biggest schools in the city of Puno, San Carlos School, with more than 2,000 students. And here we are showing some yogasanas to some school in another city, Chucuito, close to Puno. This is practice of yogasanas in San Carlos School, Pranayama, no? And in Cusco, where we have the Machu Picchu that everybody knows, we have also students practicing here in their traditional dresses, no? And we have very big groups in different small towns around Cusco also, as Acomayo and Urubamba. That is the picture in which we are seeing now. That is an agricultural school. This is the biggest school in Cusco. It's a school for girls, Clorinda Mato de Turner School. There's 5,000 students. This is a school in the north of the country where we have also teaching yogasanas. And this is an orphanage close to Lima, where we taught around 2,000 orphans to practice meditation. This is another school in Callao, close to Lima. They are practicing yogasanas. And after the practice of yogasanas, they practice their transcendental meditation for 10 minutes. This is another big school in Lima, Cesar Vallejo School of 2,000 students. They're practicing here also in their camp. And also we practice with them yogasanas. This is a school in Arequipa, a city at the south of Lima. The principals of the school. And this is a farmers community at 4,500 meters high in the Andes, in La Oroya, close to 5-7 hours from Lima. And this is a small town called Nauta, and you see that totally different environment because it's close to the place where the Amazon River gets birth, no? in the jungle, in the Peruvian jungle. This is in an orphanage where they are practicing also their meditation. And to them, we apply this kind of test. We apply 3 or 4 different tests. One of the tests that we apply is the one which we are seeing here with around 50 questions to evaluate physically, intellectually, psychologically, and sociologically, how they are improving during the time that they are meditating, and we do several questions, and then we process and we make a report to the school. For example, in this case, in this school, after 3 months of meditation, the student says that 57% that they are less sick than before, that they have less, they have more energy, like 63%, that they are sleeping better, almost 75%, and like that, there are different questions. And we are processing this information with the Maharishi Vedic Research Institute from Australia. We have different researchers, and with them, we prepare the report, we prepare the study, and we present to different important papers and journals in the world. For example, one of our studies was published by the Catholic University in Peru. It's about health and how they behave in the school, And here we have the results of this study that was applied in this farmers community. And in physical health was an improvement of more than 60%, and in cognitive health around 70%, in emotional health more than 70%, and in school performance around 70%, 91 students that were where we applied the test, In another paper, Innova Education, came this another study in which was shown that the students practicing have had a good health and experience and a better performance in the school. This is another study that was published in Latin American Science, Technology, and Society paper, applied to several students about the performance during the COVID time, And we had also an improvement in physical health, cognitive health, emotional health, and school performance. In this other study, we have a confirmatory study about the improvement in health and school performance in around 600 students of different schools in Lima, Cusco, Puno, and Ventanilla. And we got also an improvement in physical health, cognitive health, emotional health, and school performance between 60 to 70%. In the International Journal of Indian Psychology, then came this study about the long practice of the Transcendental meditation. After their students finish their school, what happens with them after 10, 15 years? And it was shown that they were having also improvements that were lasting for a long time. This study in Journal of Latinos and Education showed the practice in Aymara students in also several areas. And one of our last studies was the increase of personal well-being after 6 months of practice of Transcendental meditation. the improvement of the personal well-being increased from 69% to around 78%. Also, in this, another study is an improvement of personal well-being through the TM-Sidhi program that shows that the well-being scores in the personal well-being index increased just in 3 months by 14%. So there are more studies. I am showing just quickly. I think that my time is almost ending, no? But I wanted to put my last 2-3 minutes in this very important study that was published just 1 year ago that shows how big groups practicing transcendental meditation can improve the life of the whole city. No? Maharishi explains that when we have big groups practicing transcendental meditation or the TM-Sidhi programming around 1% of the population, then the whole city or the whole country could improve. So this is one of the studies that were made worldwide, showing that when we have this 1% or square of root of 1% of people practicing transcendental meditation, improve the quality of life and decrease the criminality. No, we have in Peru through this work several cities with more than 1% of their population, more than 13 cities having more than 1%. Even in some cities, we have 40% of their population meditating. No, so these are very interesting numbers. No, reaching this Maharishi effect. And in some years, we got more than 1% of the population or square root of the population practicing the TM-Sidhi program. And there was a study that was published, as I said, a few years ago, the last year in the World Journal of Social Science that showed around 20 different variants in poverty, nourishment, deaths and disappeared people, violence against civilian, pregnant women, etc. And all these were improving when we had big groups of students practicing transcendental meditation. In this chart is summarized all this. In these dots lines in blue, we see how many students were accumulating in the country. No, started to increase in year 95 and started to increase in a very big number since year 2005. No, and when this happened, the levels of poverty in the country were decreasing. No, were decreasing also the levels of undernourishment. Increased the access to electricity, the outward mobility of the students, the scientific and technical journals published in the country also increased, the gross domestic products and the export products. In this chart, we can see how in this yellow and here below, no, how the numbers of students meditating were increasing and how these have an exact correlation with the increase of the economical position of the country and the decrease of poverty. No, we can see exactly the decrease of poverty in the country, and is exactly with the numbers increasing of groups of students meditating. Here also we see the increase of creativity through the number of patents in the country, the number of scientific papers published in the country, and the number of students specializing in other countries. No? And this increased also is in the moment in which the big numbers of students were practicing meditation and yoga in the schools. Also, we see here the reduction of violence in the country when the groups started to increase, the decrease of disnutrition, undernutrition, and poverty in the country. So we see that Peru also was the country with the lowest inflation in Latin America and continues like that till now, and is between the 20 countries where the happiness was increased more in the last 10 years. So these big groups are having this interesting result for all the country. And one of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, Tat Sanithau Vairat Yaga, is explaining this phenomenon. No? It says, in the vicinity of yoga, the state of unity consciousness, all the bad tendencies, the hostile tendencies of conflicting tendencies are eliminated. So with this, I would like to finish. Sorry if I take, I think, 2, 3, 4 minutes more. Thank you very much for your attention. And I hope that this also can show the power of yoga and meditation to change the destiny of a nation. Peru, 20, 30 years ago, was a country with a lot of problems with terrorism, and this has changed a lot. And we think that is because of power of yoga and meditation in our schools, thanks to the children's meditating.
Thank you so much. Grazie, grazie Javier.
Thank you, Javier.
E attraverso queste diapositive
Through your slides,
siamo un po' tutti incoraggiati a impegnarsi un po' di più,
everybody are improved to commit more.
perché possiamo constatare solo che hai fatto un lavoro di diffusione enorme
Because we can see you did a so great work.
e i risultati dalle statistiche si vedono.
And the results, we can see them from statistics.
E non possiamo che essere felici di questo.
And we can be only happy about it.
Grazie di aver accettato il nostro invito.
Thank you for having accepted our invitation.
Namaste.
Thank you for inviting me.